What's up, guys? It's Adonis. I'm back with my friend X. X, how are you today?
I'm good.
We're back to talking about television, and today we're going to talk about one of my favorite shows, Cobra Kai. So, let me give you an introduction. So, Karate Kid came out in 1984. There's 3 films in total. It follows the adventure of Daniel LaRusso, who's a dorky little teen. He gets taught karate by an old wise man named Mr. Miyagi. Competes in a karate tournament where he defeats Johnny Lawrence, who is his high school bully, and in another karate dojo called Cobra Kai. Then in the Karate Kid 2, Daniel and Miyagi go to Japan to visit Miyagi's dying father, where Daniel meets Chozen, his next bully, who beats the fuck out of him, and at the end of the movie, Daniel and Chozen have a final fight. Then finally, in Karate Kid 3, John Kreese, the founder of Cobra Kai, comes back with his friend Terry Silver to try and get revenge on Daniel and Mr. Miyagi. And we get introduced to Mike Barnes, who competes in the next All-Valley Under-18 karate tournament. But thanks to Miyagi's wise teachings, Daniel wins once again. After that, there was the next Karate Kid, where Miyagi visits an old war buddy in Boston, and he trains a girl named Julie Pierce. Then in 2010, we had a remake, or what initially was a remake, of the Karate Kid, starring Jackie Chan and Jaden Smith. By the way, I fucking hate Jaden Smith, that little pussy cunt.
Yeah, he's all types of crazy.
And I want to compare that movie versus the original Karate Kid 2. But Jackie Chan plays Mr. Han, who trains Jaden Smith's character. What was his name? Dre? Yeah, his name is Dre. Dre is a pussy cunt. And then finally, we have one of the best shows of all time, Cobra Kai. In season 1, it takes place 34 years after the first Karate Kid movie. Johnny Lawrence, his life is in the gutters, but he decides, after he gets fired from his job, he decides to train kids how to do karate and reestablishes Cobra Kai. Daniel LaRusso owns his own car dealership, and remembering what happened to him in high school, he thinks that Johnny is gonna bring back the bad Cobra Kai that used to bully kids. So Daniel reopens Miyagi-Do to put his competitor in the ground, which ultimately leads to Kreese coming back in season 2, who then cons Johnny, takes over Cobra Kai, and then the kids start becoming the bullies of the valley. Johnny opens up his own dojo called Eagle Fang in season 3. And then by the end of season 4, Terry Silver has also returned, with Daniel and Johnny teaming up to take down Cobra Kai. Leading into season 5, Chozen from Karate Kid 2 is now a good guy and has joined the fight to help put Cobra Kai to the ground. Kreese gets arrested for a crime that he didn't commit. Daniel crane kicks Silver out of the valley, leading us to the Saikai Taikai, which takes place in season 6, where Kreese has broken out of prison and returned and makes a surprising comeback. But
Yeah, spoilers if you haven't seen. You should have seen season 6 by now, but go back and watch it if you haven't seen it, and then come back to this podcast.
yeah, it's really good. Kreese comes back, Silver comes back. Season 6 part 2 ends with a shocking death at the end. And now, it's December 24 right now. While we're recording this, we're expecting the final part of season 6 and the final season of Cobra Kai next year, so in February of 2025. And then in May of 2025, we're expecting a movie called Karate Kid Legends, where Mr. Han and Daniel LaRusso train a new Karate Kid, the next generation of Karate Kids. So yeah, that's the summary of Cobra Kai and pretty much everything since the Karate Kid up until Cobra Kai today. So, X, what do you want to add on from here?
Everybody wants to be Marvel, you know. Right? It's all the connected, you know, little universe stuff. And apparently they, you know, the Karate Kid remake and the original Karate Kid are in the same universe now. Right?
Yeah, right.
So, you know, it's pretty cool, I guess. Pretty cool to see. They said no Jaden Smith though. Let's leave him out of the picture. Maybe
Thank God, man. I've hated every single one of his movies. Listen, I don't mind Will Smith. He makes a lot of funny movies, including Bad Boys, Focus with Margot Robbie. He played Deadshot in Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but Suicide Squad is one of my favorite movies, especially because it introduces Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, which is my favorite version of Harley Quinn, by the way.
Right, yeah, the sexy. Bro, with Will Smith, you know, I think he dated Margot Robbie.
He did, yeah.
He folded. Now he's with the ugly...
With Jada Baldy Smith. Or as Deadpool would say, kick rocks all the way to bald hell.
But he fumbled the bag. And he there's like I seen this meme. And there's like this Polaroid of him and Margot Robbie. I bet he cries to that every night. Like, dang, I really could have had something good. I mean, that's the baddies of the baddies. That's like the ultimate baddie. You feel me? Imagine like dressing up as Harley Quinn tomorrow. You know, some sexy time. You know.
Hang on. I'm gonna play the clip. There's actually a famous TikTok where someone re-edited that scene where Smith slaps Chris Rock. They made it so it sounded like Smith said, "Keep fucking my wife's mouth."
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but nobody wants to fuck Jada Pinkett Smith.
Right.
Because, yeah,
I bet you...
Jada Smith is ugly, quite honestly. She probably used teeth on blowjobs. While we're on the subject, I actually had a girl who... There's something with FSU chicks is that they don't know how to have sex even though they pretend like they're hoes. I had one girl who was giving me a blowjob, and mid-blowjob, she straight up bit into my dick.
What
the
fuck?
It actually started bleeding.
Are you serious?
Bro, I don't know what the fuck she was singing, but she's literally just sucking it, making little Pac-Man noises, and then chomp like a fucking crocodile. I shrieked out in pain. I'm like, why the fuck did you bite it? And then she's like, I'm sorry. And then she went right back to sucking. I'm like, whatever, like, just don't do that next time. And then there's blood coming out of her mouth. I'm like, hold up. I'm like, are you bleeding? And then I'm like, no, I'm bleeding. My dick is fucking bleeding.
What the fuck? Wait, yo, it's like, are you fucking kidding? Is she into that shit? Like vampire? Fucking like, she watches too much fucking Twilight or some shit.
Bro, you know what? She sucked the blood out of my cock that day. Quite literally, like, I saw that I was bleeding.
Yo, she's probably into that shit.
And
That's
then
why she did that.
she's like, uh-oh. I'm like, well, what do we do from here? I'm like, well, it's not like I could put a Band-Aid on my dick.
Did you go to the ER?
No. So then she says, oh, okay, well then let's finish it up. And yeah, she just drained the blood right out of my cock.
She sucked your blood?
Yes.
Yo.
Like a fucking vampire.
That's crazy. Yeah, no, she's probably into that. That's what she did that on purpose. Because how the fuck would you fucking bite that shit and keep on, like, no reaction? Just keep on going.
Oh, she had a reaction, all right. There was definitely a reaction, but it was kind of like once we got over it, we were like, all right, let's continue. And then I never spoke to her again. I never spoke to her again because I had a scab on my cock for about a week. It hurt every time I had to use the bathroom or jerk off.
I wouldn't even jerk off. Fuck that. Oh my God. Ooh, I'm over here quaking right now. That's crazy. Dude.
Anyway, here's the iconic clip.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth! I'm going to, okay?
Man, I gotta love Will Smith. But anyway, back to this Cobra Kai. Let me start off with the remake. Have you seen the remake of Karate Kid, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can relate with me, but so in the first Karate Kid, and this is a popular argument with Cobra Kai, is who's the real bad guy? Because we're always led to believe that it's Johnny, but then in Cobra Kai, it kind of sheds the light on Johnny's side of the story and shows us that Daniel was a bit of a victim card player as well. But personally, I still feel that even though I really don't like Daniel now, I kind of do believe that Johnny was the aggressor back then. I mean, what do you think?
Oh.
In the first Karate Kid, so let's put things into perspective. In the first Karate Kid...
I thought you were talking about Cobra Kai.
Well, Karate Kid ties in with Cobra Kai, so we're going to be talking about that a lot.
And I should have watched, oh my God, I haven't seen Karate Kid. That's just crazy.
You haven't seen Karate Kid at all?
No.
None of them?
I probably have, but it's been a long time ago.
Oh, well, we'll probably watch one of the movies once this episode wraps up then.
Yeah, that'd be great. We should.
But, okay, so I guess I'll take it from here to put these into perspective. So, in the first Karate Kid movie, Daniel moves to a new town. He goes to a beach party where he meets a girl named Allie. And this is taking place in the summer of the 80s, by the way, in case that comes up later.
I think I remember that.
So there's this gang of kids called the Cobra Kais, gang of high schoolers. They're on their fancy motorcycles with their fancy jackets. They're in this karate dojo called Cobra Kai. And they're very narcissistic and egotistical and think very highly of themselves. Turns out that Allie is Johnny's ex, so when he sees Daniel flirting with her, he gets really upset about it. He goes down there to try and talk to Allie, but Allie wants something to do with Johnny, so she tells him to fuck off, basically. Well, he breaks her radio, and when Daniel tries to hand the radio back to Allie, Johnny shoves Daniel to the ground. Daniel then gets up, punches Johnny in the face, and the two of them start fighting. Long story short, the Cobra Kais beat the living shit out of Daniel LaRusso and then take off. And throughout the movie, they keep bullying Daniel. They, at one point, they wait for him to leave the restaurant with his mom so that they can send him tumbling down a cliff on his bike. There is a scene where Daniel does become a little aggressive. He douses Johnny with the water hose, which then Johnny and his gang chase Daniel through traffic across town and corner him at a fence where they beat him up again. And that's when Mr. Miyagi shows up and uses his karate skills to beat up the Cobra Kais and save Daniel. The next day they go to the Cobra Kai dojo where John Kreese, the leader, the sensei, I do like Kreese's mentality, but he takes things way too far. He's known as Mr. Art of War.
Mercy is for the weak. Here, on the street, in competition, a man confronts you, he is the enemy. An enemy deserves no mercy. What is the problem, Mr. Lawrence?
So yeah, that's Kreese's whole mentality. Miyagi and Daniel shows up and Kreese is like, hey, I heard you jumped a bunch of my students last night. What's your problem? Let's fight about it. And Miyagi's like, no, too much advantage at your dojo. Let's settle this at the karate tournament. With less than 6 months of training, Miyagi teaches Daniel karate, and Daniel beats Johnny and the Cobra Kais. And really, karate isn't necessarily the main focus of the lesson, but it's more so the life lessons that Miyagi has to teach. You know, the famous wax on, wax off, using chores to teach Daniel that karate is in everything we do. Yeah, and so this is the part where I want to compare this to the remake of the Karate Kid. So in the remake of Karate Kid, Dre, who is much younger than Daniel LaRusso in the 80s, Dre and his mom moved to China. And it's like, why the fuck? Like, the whole movie I was expecting like a bad father or some drug dealer or his mom's a criminal or something, because why the fuck does a mom wake up and say, hey, me and my 10-year-old are gonna move from America all the way to freaking China and start over all over again? Dre is getting pushed around and bullied by these karate students, much like Daniel was, and he gets trained by Mr. Han, but Mr. Han teaches him kung fu, not karate, despite the film's name.
Oh, yeah.
So, and the thing is, too, Dre is such a little bitch, you actually want him to get beat up versus Daniel. Like, okay, so in Cobra Kai, when Johnny tells his side of the story, he does mention things like how Daniel threw the first punch, how Daniel dosed him with the water hose, etc., etc. But he has very selective memory loss. He does not mention how he shoved Daniel to the ground with Ali's radio. He did not mention that Ali was his ex-girlfriend when she met Daniel, and he does not mention that even though Daniel dosed him with the water hose, him and 5 of his friends jumped him repeatedly, including sending him flying off of a cliff. So, Johnny...
God damn. I think I remember bits of this, man. It's been forever since I've watched, like, probably all 3 movies. Like, because it sounds familiar. But.
Yeah. So, like, I don't care what anyone says, Johnny is 100% the aggressive one in the first Karate Kid movie. No, in the remake of the Karate Kid, Dre kind of deserves to get his ass beat. He's the kind of kid who's very annoying. He'll get up in your personal space, bother you when you tell him not to be bothered. He does not respect his mother whatsoever. He will do something as simple as picking up his hoodie and hanging it on a coat hanger. And he will literally come home from school, sit on the couch to watch TV, and his mother will be like, why is your jacket on the floor? Please pick it up and put it on the coat hanger. He's like, no, I don't want to. I don't feel like it. I just want to sit here and play video games. And I'm just like, wow, this kid has no respect for his mother whatsoever. Versus the original Karate Kid, Daniel was dorky, yes, but if you're gonna beat up somebody just because they're a dork, that's not a good excuse to have beef with somebody. At this point, you are the problem, not them. He's not disrespectful to his mother. He's genuinely respectful towards everybody, and the only people he has beef with is the Cobra Kai. As a matter of fact, most times he tries to run away, but at the Halloween party, he sees an opportunity to strike back at Johnny and decides to take a strike, and yeah, he ultimately pays for it. But I mean, who can blame him? He's going to school scared every day because these kids keep beating him up. He's going home with black eyes. Dre, on the other hand, he's actually a bothersome and disrespectful child. He's purposefully provoking these kids and then running away and then playing the victim card when he comes home with the black eye. Like, there's a big difference between Daniel and Dre versus Daniel is like he's just a dork and people don't like him because he's a dork, versus Dre is actually disrespectful and whiny and he actually deserves to get beat up. Mr. Han sees Dre getting beat up by some kung fu kids, and Mr. Han beats them up. Now, y'all are going to argue with me because Miyagi did beat up the Cobra Kais, but here's the thing. The Cobra Kais were teenagers. Teenagers are essentially full-grown adults. They just can't make their own legal decisions. I mean, for fuck's sakes, these guys have their own motorcycles.
Right.
In Karate Kid, the remake, it's a bit different because Dre is, I believe, he's 10 years old in the movie. He's definitely a lot younger. Mm-hmm. And so are his bullies.
When that movie came out, was it 2000?
2010.
Oh, shit.
So Mr. Han shows
that and the horrible Avatar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Mr. Han shows up, and he beats up the kung fu students that are being bullies. But it's like, Mr. Han, you are a full-grown older man. You could just show up, and the kids would probably get scared. Because that's what happens, right? Like, say, when you were at school, whether you were the bully or the victim, if the teacher showed up or the principal or somebody's mother, everyone is suddenly on their best behavior, right? So Mr. Han, he could have just walked into the room and be like, hey, y'all get out of here before I get your parents. But no, he decides to get in there and beat up a bunch of little kids. Like, how is this dude not in jail?
That movie was stinks.
Like, once they're teenagers, it's a completely different story because, I mean, teenagers, I don't know, I feel like a 16-year-old is more than likely to pull a gun on you than a 10-year-old.
Right.
Like, with a 16-year-old, depending on their physical figure and their intentions, you might not have a choice, but with a 10-year-old, like, you have a choice, bro. Like, he gotta have a fucking knife, and all you gotta do is grab his arm and rip it out of his hand. Like, they're not bodybuilders, they're not strongmen. Like, you don't gotta beat up a bunch of little kids. What the fuck?
Right.
Like, that's where I draw the line. So, obviously, this is a very controversial podcast. I talk a lot about my own personal opinions. I am the kind of person where I will not intentionally start a physical fight with someone, especially because I do practice martial arts, and the main thing they tell you is like, hey, you cannot use martial arts to be aggressive because that's not what martial arts is for. It's to find inner peace and balance, and it's to learn how to defend yourself in case of a rare emergency. I'm the kind of person where if you get up in my face, I will straight up punch you. If you throw the first punch, oh, it's on. And I don't care if a woman slaps me in the face, I will break her fucking nose. I don't care that she's a woman. We're in a society now where, feminism and women can do anything a man can do, but God forbid she has to get drafted to the military or catch a cockroach in her bedroom or, everyone, they want to be treated like equals until a man hits a woman. Then suddenly, oh my God, I can't believe he hit a woman. Okay, well, a woman can be just as dangerous as a man can be. She could have pepper spray on her or a knife or a gun. She's a full-grown adult just like we are. The only difference is, honestly, the only difference between a man and a woman is what is attached to their crotch. And of course, we let this decide how we act, how we talk, etc., etc. So, to what I'm saying, like, if someone wants to start a fight with me, I don't care what gender they are, I'm going to treat them the same either way. Now, that's not to say I'm not going to go around town looking to hit a woman, but if there's a woman causing an unnecessary amount of trouble in my life, and she just, say, walks up to me one day straight up, hits me, she straight up slaps me in the face, I'm going to break her fucking nose. I'm sorry, but, like, you do not get to get away with things just because you have a different gender than I do. With kids, though, it's different. Kids, they don't always know better. They're not always taught right. If a kid came up to me and hit me in the face, I'm not going to do anything. Chances are I'm going to laugh it off. Or if I'm pissed off enough, I'm going to tell his parents. If anything, if a kid pisses me off enough where I'm going to fight somebody, I'm going to fight his parents, not the kid himself.
Yeah, it's for me, it's like, I don't know, one time this girl slapped me at recess, but it was stupid shit. It wasn't even I didn't do anything, but I didn't give a fuck, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna sit here and get now if a dude, and I never have confrontation with people. I'm not, a lot of people don't want to fight me. I guess it's a good thing. But, yeah, no one really wants to get violent with me. I want to get violent with, a certain someone, but, everybody hates him anyway, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, I don't know. I never, but I do want to practice martial arts, and I've done karate and boxing and everything, but I want to get more into it. I like UFC, so yeah, I'm into that. I want to practice mixed martial arts and kickboxing and all that sort of stuff. But I never really had to use it on nobody. I don't know. I'm just chill like that. No one's really tried anything. If someone has tried anything, and I have to defend myself, I'd rather just, like, really just shoot him in the head. You feel me?
Yeah. Honestly, that's the more effective way to do it. To be honest, and if you have a trainer, they should all be teaching you this regularly, but practicing martial arts should be a sport. And in case you need to use it 1% of the time, because 99% of the time there are ways to avoid the fight or walk away, not interact with the person. And, people might be like, oh, well, you're a pussy if you don't fight. Well, actually, it takes an even stronger man to control his anger and walk away from the fight. Because when you're training to do karate or kung fu or boxing or any of these martial arts-based sports, you're essentially training your body to become you're training to use your fists as lethal weapons. Because some of these moves that they show you, they're literally designed to kill people.
Yeah.
So, and it might happen on accident. Say you get into a bar fight. Say you've never taken a fighting class in your life. You don't know how to fight, but you throw in a punch. Everyone knows how to throw a punch, right?
Right.
You knock the guy over. He hits the countertop on the bar, cracks his head open, and bleeds out and dies. Now, you didn't mean to kill him. But now, you got a murder case on your hands. You're responsible for that man's death, regardless of he started the fight or not.
Wow.
Now you're in jail because someone got a little too drunk and got a little too aggressive. And it's like, so would you rather people call you a pussy because you walked away, or would you rather stand up to the guy, but now you got a murder case on your hands?
Right.
Because it could not even be that. You could simply shove someone. There's some water on the floor. They slide, and they hit their head on the counter. And now they're dead because you gave them a little shove that led to them falling to their death. You're still responsible. That's still a murder case in the court of law.
Damn, yeah. That's true. And I would say this too. Even like when we just like walked into this one frat meet on Halloween. And I would say like, they were being like crazy because they were being dicks to like everybody, but they like pushed my friend down and like everything, and all I got was like a little tap, like little smack to the head, like little smack. It wasn't even like hard or anything. Because and then other guys were like, "Yo, don't mind him. He's just going crazy. He's going nuts. Like, just this. We were trying to get out, and he's getting physical. I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know why. Like, I don't know. I don't know why. Like, that's a good thing, I guess. People don't maybe feel the need to really get so aggressive with me, or even in that moment, like my friend got pushed down, and I barely got anything. So. I don't know what it is.
That could mean one of two things. One, people are either they see you and they're like, oh, this guy looks like he knows how to fight, let's not mess with him. Or they see you, or they're like, oh, this guy's not a threat, he's a pussy, it's not even worth pushing him down.
Right. This is like non-threatening
It's
at all.
one of the two.
Right.
I don't know which one it is, but it's one of the two. One is a great compliment, the other one's a great insult.
Right.
Alright, let's dive more into the characters, and more specifically, what illegal activities they participate in, because one thing about Cobra Kai is that cops just don't exist in the universe, and it's basically gang wars but with white people who use karate instead of guns. So, X, I'll let you take it from here.
Alright, so first off with Johnny, Daniel's son. Alright, so he's a big Miyagi Glazer. Oh my god, we'll talk about that later.
Oh my god, Miyagi meat-sucking cock rider.
Well, yeah, so they both are just, and they just let these kids, these people in high school, run wild, okay? And I'm trying to think back to the first season, because, he wanted to, make some money, open up a dojo, nothing wrong with like going and recruiting kids or whatever. I mean, it just like turns out. I mean, there's no like real consequences. They're not like it's like he's like antagonizing, like the other side, and Johnny's like kick his ass or whatever, kind of putting these kids down, like, but he did a good job, like with Eli, which is AKA Hawk, calling him like Lip, and he was like, and he flipped the script. So I like that, that little kind of like, he used to say badass, that motivation. But it's just like a real karate instructor. I don't know if they'll ever talk to kids that way, but it's like, the parents never come, they don't ever come in and talk to the sensei. You'd think they'll include that.
Yeah, you'd think that, honestly, in real life, how are you going to tell me that Hawk's mom called the school because her son was being bullied for having a cleft lip? But then she didn't go to Cobra Kai to be like, hey, Johnny, why are you calling your student Lip? Why are you bullying a high schooler? Like, you're a 30-something-year-old dude. Why the fuck are you bullying a high school nerd?
He would have been like, well, he looks badass now, and his name is Hawk, so...
Oh my god, I wonder how that is, because Hawk had a really big character arc. He was very shy. He got bullied for having a cleft lip. And then Johnny taught him how to flip the script, which is a good life lesson, too. Hawk gets a mohawk, hence his name. It's originally blue, but it changes colors throughout the season. He basically has this straight, spiky hair. He gets a back tattoo. By the way, he's still in high school, so he shouldn't have that tattoo.
Right, what the fuck? Fake IDs? Okay, sorry.
Yeah, he even mentioned in an episode that he has to wear a shirt until college because he still lives with his parents.
Right.
But, yeah, he
Wait,
has
do the other kids not live with their parents? Wait.
Yeah. So, yeah,
Except for Miguel, obviously. But
yeah, so now he has a tattoo. He has this red spiky hair. And then when he changes his hair color from blue to red, that's when he becomes more of an angry Hawk. He starts to let his anger control his decisions, especially when his girlfriend Moon dumps him because she sees that he's becoming a bully. And yeah, he basically becomes the biggest villain of the show. He even breaks his best friend's arm in an episode.
Right.
And it's just like, how does his mother feel about this? Because mind you, he's not in college yet. He's in the middle of high school. How does she feel like, oh yeah, my son is shy, but he's a good boy. Him and Dimitri, they're into computers. They're going to have a bright future ahead of them because they're going to MIT. And yeah, well now my son has this demonic look in his eye and he's got this angry red hairdo. And there's a rumor going around that he broke Dimitri's arm. I mean, I'd like to believe that my son is innocent, but, he's just done a lot of other stuff recently that it sadly wouldn't surprise me if he did that.
Well, honestly, like, it's all lazy writing. They're just like, okay, it was like, perfect example, just like, I think, like, remember Disney XD kicking it?
Yeah.
They didn't have their parents on there either.
Well, Disney XD is more of a comedy than Cobra Kai.
True, yeah. So, I mean, it's like, I guess, like, in some sense, we have to try to make sense of it, why the parents are not, involved. Because, obviously, in real life, it's just lazy writing. But, now we have to fill in the gaps and figure out, okay, well, let's make up a reason why the fucking parents were there. I don't fucking know, man. I mean, maybe, like...
Also,
it is kind of weird because like even all the shit that like they've done, all the fights with like between the dojos and like no cops, no nothing, no. It's just like we have to make up a filler, kind of like why this is happening. It's really think creatively.
Keep in mind that these kids also participated in 2 All-Valley tournaments, and now they're all going to the Seikai Taikai, which last I heard, Miguel, Robbie, Sam, Tori, Dimitri and Hawk are all 17 years old now, so they're getting ready for college because they're in their senior year of high school. Mind you, they are still technically minors. Sam and Miguel, okay, because their legal guardians are with them. But Hawk and Dimitri, Devin and Kenny just started high school, damn. And Johnny and Daniel are taking them all the way to another country. Where are their parents? They're competing in a tournament where they could possibly die because of how intense it is. And their parents are just nowhere to be found. What the fuck?
Maybe they signed some paperwork. Okay, have fun. Goodbye.
Here.
What if they're orphans? Oh,
they're not orphans because their parents are mentioned. Dimitri's mom is mentioned.
Okay, well,
Hawk's mom is mentioned. Devin's dad is mentioned, and we know that Kenny has a mom who has 2 jobs, therefore she's out of the house, and Kenny's dad is in the military. So they definitely have parents. Their parents just don't give a shit about their kids. Apparently.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Honestly, yeah. That's the perfect way to make sense of it. They probably just don't give a fuck. They probably just don't care. Like, they're probably like cool, like one of those cool parents that like kind of act like roommates.
That's not cool. That's neglect. Like Dimitri, here's the thing. In one episode, Dimitri has a broken arm because Hawk broke his arm. It's still crazy to think that Hawk and Dimitri later became friends because I understand that Miyagi-Do teaches us about forgiveness versus Cobra Kai is more about how to utilize your anger as a weapon. But still, if my best friend broke my arm, I would never forgive that. Like, I'm sorry, but that's just an unforgivable act.
Right.
And people are saying, well, it just goes to show you how strong of a person Dimitri is. Yeah, either that or Dimitri's just a pussy. I don't have any friends because I'm a nerd, and I guess I'll run back to the guy who broke my arm.
That's funny.
So, in an episode, Dimitri's going through school with a cast on his arm, which, by the way, what did he tell his mom when he came home with a broken arm?
Right, and then a huge dick on his fucking...
Yeah, Kyler, one of the Cobra Kais, drew a dick on his arm. And then Yasmin, to comfort him, she wrote on the cast, "Oh, I love your big dick." I'm like, if you were in college, that's understandable. Like, you can walk around on campus, whatever. I have a shirt that says, "I love sluts." I wear it everywhere I go. But could you just imagine showing up home, your mother's in the kitchen, she comes out. Not only do you have a cast on, oh, what happened to your arm? Why is there a penis on your cast? Why does it say, I love your big dick? Who's Yaz? Who is this Yasmin chick? I need to talk to her parents. I need her to get expelled because why is she writing on my son's arm? Why are they having sex? They're teenagers. Like, I could just imagine what goes on in these parents' heads. Because I understand that when we're in high school, we get sneaky. Hell, I did. I got away with a lot of shit. But then some of the stuff in this show is just so obvious that it's like, okay, the parents have to know something. Even Miguel tried to keep stuff from his mom, and his mom being a regular character in the show, she caught on to a lot of the stuff that he was getting into. You know, he comes home with bruised ribs and a bloody mouth. Mm-hmm. You know, what's his excuse?
Right.
That was skateboarding. You don't even skateboard, motherfucker. What happened?
Right. At least there's that. You know, they like. You know what? This is where we can bring AI into fucking everything I do. But let's do this one. Hey, so I'm doing a podcast with my friend, and why do you think some of the parents in Cobra Kai weren't involved in the show? Like, in canon, in the show, why do you think the parents weren't involved as much when they're coming home with bruises and, you know, all sorts of things going on? Why weren't the parents involved?
That's a great topic for your podcast. In canon, it might be because the show focuses more on the kids' journey and their rivalry. But
that's a
narrative
stupid description.
No!
Could symbolize how disconnected they are from their kids' lives or how much independence the teens have. Some parents, like Johnny or Amanda, are shown but are distracted with their own issues. Others, like Miguel's mom, do get concerned but often don't realise the full extent of the drama until it's too late. It's almost like the show amps up the stakes by keeping the kids in their own bubble of karate chaos. What do you think?
I think you're a pussy. That's a lazy AI.
Yeah, that's kind of lazy. I thought it would be like a smarter response. But no, yeah, I thought we would have a deeper response.
Brook Boys on TikTok, because they did a skit about how cringe Cobra Kai is sometimes.
Where am I? What is this? Bark for me, Danny, bitch! Why? You can't be doing this! You can't be doing this! Sensei Wolf, you sunk this thug here to kidnap me and put me in a dog cage? Over karate? Because, Danny boy. What's life without a few surprises? No way this shit's real! We got people committing felons for a fucking kid's trophy!
Just how, like, you know, we love our football. That's how it is. They take it so fucking serious.
Hey, NPC boss! Quit staring! Move along! Dominator! Move your metal ass! Who are we? Miyagi-Do. Who are we? Miyagi-Do! Who are we? Miyagi-Do! That's the Miyagi-Do way. Who are we? Miyagi-Do! This dojo's filled with a bunch of pussies. What are they training for? Martial arts big as bitch? Cobra cringe as fuck!
To put things in perspective, so spoilers for season 6, but there is, at one point of the show, and this is where we're talking about Daniel being a Mr. Miyagi glazer.
Right.
Everything is just about, it's the Miyagi-Do way. If Mr. Miyagi was here, he wouldn't approve of that. Miyagi this, Miyagi that. I'm like, damn, dude, let the guy rest in peace. Every time he has an issue, he goes to Miyagi's grave as if the ghost of Miyagi is just gonna come out of the earth and tell him what to do with his life.
Some Kung Fu Panda shit.
Yeah, exactly. So, at one point, Cobra Kai sees that Daniel has a weakness to Mr. Miyagi and uses his weakness as an advantage. This is one thing Cobra Kai teaches, is you need to find your opponent's weakness and use it against them, which is the same thing that Batman does, and that's why Batman is able to take on people like Superman and the Joker.
Yeah.
Because he uses their weaknesses against them. So, Daniel's in another country for the Sekai Taikai. He finds out that there's someone who knows Mr. Miyagi, and being in a foreign country where he doesn't speak the language, he decides to go check it out. And we already know an abduction is about to happen from a mile away. He falls for the trap because, oh, Mr. Miyagi, I gotta find out more about his past. He gets kidnapped, put in a dog cage.
Right.
He does manage to pick the lock and break out and fight off 3 dudes. One of them revealing a Cobra Kai tattoo, which Daniel assumes he works for Kreese, but we later find out that he actually works for Terry Silver. And as entertaining as the show is, you gotta sit back and think, wait a minute, Daniel was trapped in a dog cage, and literally the first thing he said was something to the effect of, can you let me out? I have a karate tournament to get to. Like, bro, you are kidnapped in another country, and your first thought process is, I gotta go watch a karate tournament. Please let me out. You're in Cobra Kai? You work for Kreese? Okay. Oh no, it's actually Terry Silver. Terry Silver is a rich guy. I'm like, bro, why? Why the hell are you kidnapping another grown man over a kid's karate tournament?
Hey, this is a fever dream. These writers are high as fuck.
Hang on, I'm gonna find something else Cobra Kai related to play, but you go ahead and keep on talking. But I don't know if you got anything else to say about Johnny or Kreese especially, Mr. Art of
Yeah.
War. This guy still thinks he's in Vietnam.
He's thinking, they're just taking this to an extreme level. I mean, it's all their fucking egos, and they're having these kids fucking fight each other over their fucking egos, and they they're like old fucking grandpas who can't get over what happened in the fucking 80s. They still can't get over it back in the day. They're having these kids and their fucking feud, and his wife. Okay,
Amanda's the only sensible person.
Yes,
the entire
she's
show.
fucking over it. It's like, get over this fucking shit. Like, you're having these kids fight, be all fucking gang shit.
Like I said, it's white people gang wars.
Right.
And black people use guns. White people use karate, apparently. Let's talk about Kreese specifically. I mean, this man, first of all, in Karate Kid 2, let's go back to the first Karate Kid. In the first Karate Kid, he tells Johnny to do this famous line, sweep the leg. So Johnny takes an elbow to Daniel's leg and tries to beat him by injuring him. It doesn't work. Karate Kid 2, Kreese is mad at Johnny for losing, and he attempts to choke Johnny to death. He literally tries to kill a minor over a karate tournament, and he's stopped by Mr. Miyagi. Then in Karate Kid 3, he recruits his rich friend Terry Silver to get revenge on Daniel and Miyagi. He even tells Terry, make his knuckles bleed. Bro, all this revenge for what? Because they put you out of business after the whole city watched you try to strangle a minor? Then he comes back in Cobra Kai. This dude is like 80 years old, still fighting people. He's homeless, trying to fight people because he thinks everyone is the enemy, and the enemy deserves no mercy. Mercy is for the weak.
He has that PTSD, the old man. Like, he just want to. He's in a war mindset. Like,
bro, even Terry Silver was like, bro, I'm not coming back to Cobra Kai. I'm about to play the clip where him and Silver first reunite in Cobra Kai Season 4. In the seasons of Cobra Kai, not only does he take back Cobra Kai by bribing the landlord, which is something that's illegal, by the way, but he also attempts to strangle Johnny at the end of Season 3. Recruits Terry Silver, breaks out of prison at the end of Season 5,
right.
And then runs off to China, runs back to the U.S., to try and recruit Tori, and allegedly kills his mom. Because here's a crazy Cobra Kai theory. So in Season 6, Tori's mom, who's been sick the entire show, is doing great now. While Tori's on her way home, Kreese shows up out of nowhere. He somehow managed to get from China all the way to the U.S. despite being a wanted man.
They casually took a fucking flight. Or how, fucking Cobra Kai is in this show. Maybe he fucking swam or flew, just by his bare fucking hands,
Yeah,
No fucking going on a flight, just fucking...
Yeah, they never explained how the hell Kreese got all the way around the world. Being a wanted man, by the way, like, hello, you just broke out of a prison. Quite easily, too. He just put some fake blood on his shirt and then karate assaulted all the police officers. But, that's what I was saying. So he tries to recruit Tori. Tori tells him to fuck off, so... And then, as soon as Tori comes home, her mom is found dead in the apartment. I'm like, so you mean to tell me that her mom was doing great, and then Kreese shows up out of nowhere, and suddenly she's dead? But the doctor said it was a blood clot that they didn't spot before. Well, I do know that blood clots are caused by snake bites, and I also know that Kreese has an obsession with snakes and cobras, so I don't know, just him showing up conveniently right when her mom dies, that's just way too many coincidences.
He could have injected her. I remember she made a fist, remember? Maybe she was trying to fight him off.
Exactly, yeah, she made a fist, and she wasn't even holding anything, so why did she fall to the ground holding a fist? She might have been trying to fight off somebody. Right. maybe Kreese set off one of his Cobra Kai goons to assault her. So, I don't know what happened, but I definitely think that Kreese had something to do with her death, and that he used that to get Tori to rejoin Cobra Kai. But anyway, here is a clip where Kreese tries to recruit Silver again.
I want to finish what we started.
Finish what we started. Just like we were supposed to do 35 years ago? Before you vanished?
I was in a bad place. There's no question about that. But I'm back now. And you can be too.
Look around. I'm doing just fine.
Are you? Because the Terry Silver that I knew would have roundhouse old Four Eyes back there for calling Cobra Kai adorable. Do you remember when we got back from Nam? We went through hell watching our friends die, only to be welcomed home by a bunch of hippies calling us killers. People needed to learn some respect, some discipline. That's why we started Cobra Kai. Together, we made a difference.
Yeah. You did.
Well, we can do it again. There's a whole new generation out there that can use what we know. The only thing standing in our way is Daniel LaRusso.
Danny boy?
He's even teamed up with Johnny Lawrence.
Wait. You're a champ. And LaRusso working together.
That's why I'm here. I need a partner. And the only other person who knows how to teach Cobra Kai is you. What do you say?
I say no.
Back in the 80s, I thought I could conquer the world.
I came pretty damn close.
I was so hopped up on cocaine, revenge. I spent months terrorizing a teenager over a high school karate tournament.
It sounds insane just talking about it. After that tournament, I hit rock bottom. But built myself back up. Got my ass into therapy. Found clarity.
Turns out you disappearing was the best thing that ever happened to me. You know, people expect men of our age to pack it in and go off into the sunset. That might work for you. But I still have some fight left in me. Please thank Cheyenne for the tofu.
So anyway, Silver seems like he did mature after the events of Karate Kid 3 and realized how stupid this whole karate drama was. But then Kreese did what Kreese always does. He manipulates people. He digs up your demons. He knows how to use words as bullets, builds up your emotions. And what happened was, after Kreese left, Silver started thinking. He started going back to his old Silver self from 1985, and he was like, why did I quit karate? And yeah, before you know it, Silver is back in the game, still with the intent of using Cobra Kai to help people, but because he's around a bad influence, that bad influence being Kreese, Silver becomes so evil that he beats up a guy and frames Kreese for that crime.
Yeah.
So Silver basically, Kreese got a taste of his own medicine, which is using people and taking advantage of them and being a manipulator. Right. But it just goes to show you how Silver changed from the bad guy to the good guy, who was just like, all right, I got Kreese out of my life. He was a toxic person. I'm just gonna buy a fancy house and live out the rest of my days in peace. And then Kreese came back, and it drenched up Silver's demons to the point where Silver betrayed his best friend. Him and Kreese were best friends. and they still were best friends in a majority of Cobra Kai, but then Silver decided to pull a Kreese himself, and yeah, he burned bridges, backstabbed everyone. He even brought back Dennis de Guzman from Karate Kid 3 to help with his fight in Cobra Kai 6. So yeah, it just goes to show you how effective Kreese can be.
Right.
And Silver, I mean, who do you think is worse, Silver or Kreese? Because Silver has the money to make people act in ways that they normally wouldn't.
Silver.
But then Kreese has the power to manipulate people.
Now, what might happen is Kreese, he might be teaming up with Johnny and Daniel to take down Silver.
See, that I don't see happening because Kreese has seemingly redeemed himself multiple times only to then backstab the same people that he's backstabbed before. He's also faked his death on numerous occasions in the Karate Kid movies and in Cobra Kai and turned out to be alive. So I think Johnny and Daniel are at the point right now where they're like, this guy has betrayed us enough times that we're not going to trust him even if we share the same enemies. We're just going to do it ourselves.
Right.
If anything, they'll just use Kreese the way that he used them. For example, in Season 5, when Kreese is in jail, Daniel and Johnny pay him a visit, and they pretend that they're going to get Kreese out of prison because Daniel has connections, because Daniel is also a rich guy. But then they backstab Kreese and they're like, yeah, we got our information. We're not going to help you rot in your cell.
Right.
Now, there's a scene where Terry and Kreese get into a fight at the end of Season 6, Part 2. And Johnny steps in. And a lot of people might assume that Johnny is protecting Kreese. But I don't think that was the case. Matter of fact, he even said at the very beginning, and he said, mark my words, Kreese is a dead man.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think Johnny would intend to kill someone literally, although who knows, because Kreese has a way of bringing out the worst in people.
Right, yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if Johnny did try to kill him. But I think the reason why Johnny stepped in and started beating up Terry Silver is because Terry Silver beat up Johnny in Season 4. I think what Johnny's intention was to beat up Silver and then beat up Kreese. But while he was beating up Silver, Quan got stabbed to death and stopped the fight because of it.
Right.
So I don't think Johnny was fighting Silver to protect Kreese. I think Johnny was fighting Silver just because he wanted revenge.
Right. He was probably going to kill them both. That's probably going to happen. They're probably going to die in Season 7. Because we already seen that murder happen, so...
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprising because Martin Kove, the guy who plays John Kreese, he said that he's not going to be in Karate Kid Legends, the new movie. Here's the thing. Kreese was in the first 3 Karate Kid movies, and he's in most of the seasons of Cobra Kai's. He's such a major character since the very beginning. I'm like, what could possibly happen in the final part of Cobra Kai that Kreese is not going to be in the movie? Like, not even make a cameo appearance. So I think he might die for real this time, but then it's one of those things where it's like, well, let's say he does die in the final season of Cobra Kai, and another 10 years they might make a spin-off of Cobra Kai where Kreese comes back, because that's what he does. He fakes his death.
No, I think they'll have a legitimate, like, thing of, like, someone's gonna get stabbed, you know?
Well, Kreese allegedly got stabbed at the end of season 5, but then it turned out he was alive.
No, like in the throat or something, like... So, I mean, you know?
Maybe. Or maybe, because... Let's talk about that a bit, too. At the end of Season 6, Part 2, there's a big karate brawl. All the karate dojos at the Sekai Taikai start fighting one another. And this is when Johnny fights Terry fights Kreese,
right.
Daniel fights de Guzman again, etc., etc. In the middle of the fight, Quan, one of the newer Cobra Kais, picks up a knife to attempt to kill Axel from the Iron Dragons. But Axel dodges Quan's kick, causing Quan to trip and fall on the knife and killing himself. Now here's the thing. Everyone knows that knife is Kreese's because Kreese was showing it off like it was a gold medal or something. So the real question is, what's gonna happen to Kreese in the next part of the season, and is he going to be blamed for Kwan's death? I think he is, because why would you bring a knife to a kid's karate tournament?
Right. Yeah, yeah. I mean, if they fucking try to put him in prison, he has to be in the middle of the ocean somewhere. You know.
Oh, I know. He's like the Thanos of the Miyagi verse.
Right. So,
like, literally, his arch rival.
It'll be Karate Kid verse.
Well, the producers call it the Miyagi verse.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's why I call it the Miyagi verse.
Miyagi verse. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, because even though the show is called Cobra Kai, we make it about Miyagi-Do. Oh, you're breathing incorrectly? That's not the Miyagi-Do way. Like, bro, just let Mr. Miyagi die already. I think even Mr. Miyagi would be tired of Daniel's glazing.
Right.
And I didn't even realize this until Cobra Kai, but Daniel's been glazing Mr. Miyagi since the first Karate Kid. So the second Karate Kid... Yeah, in the second Karate Kid, Miyagi goes to Okinawa. He's supposed to go by himself, but Daniel's like, I want to go too. And Miyagi's like, no, you need to study for school. You're in your senior year. You need to start looking into college. Build yourself a bright future. You know, you're young. You got your whole future ahead of you. You know, make good choices. And Daniel's like, you're more important to college than me, Mr. Miyagi. You're more important than college. You're more important than anything. And you can just tell by Miyagi's facial expressions, he's like, man, I can't get a break from this kid. So he's like, fine, you can come with me to Okinawa. They come back with more money because Daniel won an ice breaking competition. And then instead of going to college, he says, hey, Mr. Miyagi, I'm going to buy a store for you so that we can open our own bonsai business, right? You said you wanted to have a little bonsai store. Well, I'm gonna just forget about college and do that for you because you're more important than my own life.
God.
Bro, this guy would probably let Miyagi fuck his wife.
Yeah.
If he wanted to.
And you would watch it and jerk off.
Yeah, exactly.
What fucking cunt.
My God, I mean, obviously Miyagi is a good enough of a guy that he wouldn't actually do that.
Right.
But God forbid Miyagi was like, I'm lonely. I wish I had a woman. Oh, you want to fuck my wife, Mr. Miyagi? Here, take my daughter. You can fuck her too.
Yo. Oh my God.
No, Miguel can't be fucking Samantha, but Mr. Miyagi can.
Shit, he was tapping that. But yeah, no, he's obsessed with Mr. Idol.
My God, it's like, geez, dude, like, I'm sure Miyagi somewhere in heaven, he's probably like, oh my God, he's like, you know what? I should have let those Cobra Kais beat his ass 40 years ago.
Yeah.
You know who else I want to talk about is Axel from season 6. You got any opinions before I go? Because, I don't know. This is so funny because the last episode we did together, it was kind of like more focused on you and your backstory when we were talking about the Hawk Tuah girl. Mm-hmm. And now that it's about Cobra Kai, I feel like I'm the main person talking. But is there anything you want to say about Axel and the Iron Dragons in season 6?
No, the Iron Dragons were badass. I was like, holy shit, they're like way better than Cobra Kai.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
And you know what? Cobra Kai, I'm going to bring some
Miyagi-Do.
Cobra Kai and Miyagi-Do, they're shit compared to the Iron Dragons.
Yeah.
Because they're so focused on the rivalry with each other. At one point, Daniel's even like, why are we still fighting Cobra Kai? He's like, they are one dojo out of 16. Why the fuck are we still fighting Cobra Kai? We should be focused on training so that we can be the best of the best. But yeah, I think the reason why Cobra Kai and Miyagi-No are not the top dojo in the world like Iron Dragons is because they're so focused on their rivalry with each other.
Right.
And this goes true in real life too. So Livy Dunn, she's a famous gymnast at LSU. This is something me and Ed were talking about earlier. And he was like, well, what do you have against Livy? She's chill. I'm like, no, I don't like her. And I'll tell you why. So recently, she tried to get into the Olympics and she got denied. And yes, she might be a gymnast, but I think Livy Dunn is a little too egotistical and narcissistic. Because she makes all these TikTok skits and she posts bikini pictures. And I understand that she's a model for Sports Illustrated, but she's also posting these thirst traps on her free time. And she allegedly has a long-distance boyfriend. But I've said this a million times, but you cannot tell me that you're a loyal girlfriend and then your entire Instagram is nothing but thirst traps and bikini pics. And, you know, she's just posting all these memes and playing around with her friends. She acts like a middle school girl, and she just graduated college. And I'm like, I'll tell you why the Olympics didn't choose her. They're looking at all these hundreds and thousands of contestants that want to apply. And their Instagrams is all workout routines. Get ready with me as I, you know, get up at 5 in the morning to go jog in the snow, to work out for 5 hours a day.
Right.
To train and to train. And then Livy Dunn is like, get ready with me as I tell you about my last breakup. I was at my friend's house today. Here's our OOTD. Shoes are from Zara or wherever the fuck girls get their clothing nowadays. Check out this sexy bikini pic I got on. Hey, watch Little Gronk. What's his name? Is that his name? Baby Gronk.
Yeah,
Raise me up. Bro, I hate Baby Gronk so much. Like, how the fuck does a little child have so much popularity for rizzing up girls twice his age? Like, come on now.
So the fucking parents are behind that shit.
My God, his parents are idiots for doing that.
Yeah.
But back to Livy Dunn, it's like she's just not serious about what she does. Because if she was serious, she wouldn't be posting on social media all day. She wouldn't be on social media all day. And more importantly, her Instagram and her TikTok pages would be more gymnast videos and workout videos versus these OOTDs and get ready with me and all these bikini pics that she's doing.
She's getting comfortable with the fame.
Exactly, and she's more focused on her fame than she is. At this point, she's in it for the fame and not the sport itself.
Right.
At this point, when I think of Livy Dunn, I don't think Livy Dunn, the gymnast. I think, oh, that LSU student. Like, that's literally, like, it doesn't even register in my mind that she's a gymnast anymore, because I rarely see her post a video or a picture of her even doing that. So I think she's really in it for the fame, and I think that the people who run the Olympics, they see that and they're like, this girl isn't fucking serious about what she does. She just wants it for the fame, and she wants to be hot, and et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
Like, she's the kind of person who'll be like, she'll be on Snapchat be like, okay guys, like, I'm about to compete. Hey, shouldn't you be stretching, getting ready for the competition? Hey God, I gotta be supportive to my followers. Man, fuck your followers. Get your ass over here.
But yeah, it's literally like, and you know what? That's like when you have like something you really like, and like the same thing. That's why they're fucking 5'8" grown ass men fighting over karate, because like, you know, so obsessed with it and so like, you know, just focused on like one thing. With like Livy, maybe it's like her fame, and you know, with Cobra Kai and Miyagi-Do trying to prove a fucking point.
One of the big reasons why I love Cobra Kai is because of how well it reflects on real life. Minus the Karate Wars part. You know, it's very realistic in terms of how so many of us at any age, especially in college and in high school, get caught up in so much drama.
Yeah.
And we let that drama control our lives, and we let our anger take control of ourselves. And there's just so many of the characters that I see myself in, and, you know, certain stuff happens, and I'm like, holy shit, like, the exact same scenario happened to me, like, last week. Right. And, I mean, I've been watching this show since high school, and even at high school, I was like, holy shit, like, this is a spitting image of what happens in the real world, minus the all-out karate battles. I mean,
relatable in a way.
It's very relatable.
Yeah.
Back to Axel and Zara, I feel like Axel, he looks like he's got some sort of mental disorder, honestly. But I also know that he is being physically abused by Sensei Wolf. So anyway, while Miguel is out of town, Axel gets to talking with Samantha. And after they get attacked by Cobra Kai right off, Axel tries to kiss her, and Sam rejects it, and she's like, I'm sorry, but I have a boyfriend.
Yeah.
And it's just so funny to me that, like, Axel immediately started having beef with Miguel about it afterwards. And Miguel didn't even know, like, why does this guy hate me? Until Samantha told him, she's like, oh, you know, he thought that him and I were going to be a thing, and I told him no, and et cetera, et cetera. Right. I'm like, bro, this is stupid. Like, first of all, you were stupid to think that you had a chance with Samantha. You literally met her. Like, you had what? You were with her for, like, maybe 30 minutes max? Bro. And you're already trying to kiss her? Bro, that's not how the world works. This isn't FSU. You don't get to kiss a girl 10 minutes after meeting her.
Bro is horny.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And then he decides to have beef with Miguel over it. I'm like, bro, seriously? And then Zara is... It's so funny because Rada Vallandigham, I think I said her name right, she is a real martial artist. Yeah. 13-time world Taekwondo champion. And I love her for that because I love martial arts. And as I stated in a previous episode, I admire women who know how to fight and defend themselves. It's a personality trait that I find super hot. But I kind of feel like Reina and Zara are like the same person because in Cobra Kai, Zara's like someone who's very egotistical. She's kind of like the Livy Dunn of the series where she's very focused on her Instagram status and more concerned about that than the actual sport. And she's so good that she's let it go to her head. Right. And then she's a bitch to all of her competitors. And I kind of feel that, like, Reina's the exact same way because the way Zara acts on Instagram is the exact same way that Reina, the actress who plays Zara, acts on Instagram. So I'm like, I wonder how Reina, like, the actress herself, acts in real life. Because I swear to God, it's the exact same character. Like, that's probably why they chose her is because Reina's basically playing herself in the show. It's just so hilarious to me. But Reina kind of has beef with Tori because she's jealous that, like, two guys are paying attention to Tori and not Zara. Right.
Yeah, the jealousy and shit. And, like, I wouldn't say got in the way for, she's still a dude, even though she's being a bitch. Karate was still good.
Yeah, honestly, it's funny because Tori is my number one character in Cobra Kai. Number one, obviously because she's hot and she's played by Peyton List, who was on the show Jessie and Bunked on Disney Channel, by the way. Yeah. So Peyton List is super hot. But another reason why I like Tori Nichols so much is because I can relate to her really well. Tori Nichols is very angry inside because her mom has been sick most of her life. And so Tori has, from a young age, she's been the one to be paying the bills, working several jobs to put food on the table, take care of her little brother while her mother is sick. And then it just, she does have a period where she redeems herself and even becomes friends with her arch rival Samantha. But then when her mother dies, Tori kind of goes back to the girl that she was, and it lets her rage blind her.
Right. Well, I think that she's gonna switch over to Miyagi-Do on season 7.
I think so too. But it's like from the very beginning, you can tell that Tori is a good person inside, but she has a lot of anger on the outside. And the reason why I relate to that is because of my family background. So if you guys have listened to a previous episode, my father was super neglectful of me. We're always led to believe that our parents care about us, even if it seems at certain times that they don't and that they always have our best interests. But I realized that my father was simply manipulating me and using me for his own emotional support. I especially realized this when I got hit by a car and he didn't give a shit. And he tried to make me go homeless on 3 separate occasions because he thought it would be a good learning experience for me. In my teens and early adult life, I felt a lot of anger towards my parents because I felt like I was being taken advantage of. And I know a lot of times that anger has come out on other people. Right. Especially today, because like me today versus me last year or 2023, I'm much more aggressive towards people now than I was back then. Right. And this year is when things have really gone to hell. Like, not only did my parents force me out of Tallahassee, I also got abducted by my cousin. after I got out of that situation, I cut off my parents permanently, and I've been forced to, face the world completely.
How long did it take you to trust, like, your cousins and stuff like that again, or other family members?
Come again?
So, how long did it take you to trust, like, your family members again, and, like...
I don't trust my family members, even to this day.
Oh.
I mean, to be fair, there's some people that I trust more than others. I mean, we trust people to a certain extent. But for the most part, I don't trust anybody because I've been betrayed and backstabbed my whole life by my friends, by my family, by my parents especially, who are more concerned about themselves than they are about their own kid. They wouldn't even give me $2 to get a Snickers bar. But then, like right now, they're in West Palm Beach on this fancy trip. And it's like, so y'all can't afford to go all the way to West Palm Beach.
Right.
But y'all can't afford $2 to give your son.
Man, people are fucking greedy. Like, there's this fucking OnlyFans girl. And the only reason why I know, because she's popular on TikTok. But, her brother drives a Ford Focus. Meanwhile, this bitch has a Audi R8, a G-Wagon. You could have done the favor and bought your brother a Jeep or something. But you own all these cars and you can't. Like, he drives a Ford Focus. Like, what the fuck? When you drive, like, an Audi R8 and a G-Wagon, a McLaren, are you kidding me?
I mean, I'm going to agree with you simply because she's an OnlyFans girl, and I hate OnlyFans chicks. But I will say this, just because you're rich or you have the money doesn't mean that you should be obligated to go out of your way for others, even if it is your own family. I mean, personally, if I ever got rich, I'm not telling anybody because I know people are going to try and take advantage of that or try to guilt trip me into giving them my money. I mean, sometimes people have to help themselves. But when it's your own kid, like, it's kind of like one of those things where it's like they can help, but they're choosing not to. Like, my dad was literally trying to make me go homeless. Like, it's one thing if I spent all my money and got myself into trouble. And my dad was like, well, I'm sorry, but you need to learn what happens in the real world. And, I'm going to let you be on your own for a bit. But that wasn't the case. My dad literally stole my money when I was a kid. Every year on Christmas, they would give away any gifts I got. They'd take the money I got from my family members. Even as an adult, they were taking a majority.
You know what's crazy too? Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt you. But my situation kind of relates because my mom had to pay $900 in child support. And, she could have used that for savings when I was 18. And me and her had a bad relationship. But it's not about, he's disrespectful and all that. Money is a necessity, not a luxury. It's not, how do I say, a reward. It's not, it's a necessity. That could have helped me move out the house at 18 and really been wealthy at 18. I mean, I don't know how long. I mean, shit, that was probably since I was young. Imagine saving $900, or at least a little bit. Like, she could have put at least $200 away, for me. I would have had a lot of money saved up.
Yeah, exactly. And that is ultimately why I relate to Tori so much, is because she has a similar situation where, she hasn't been abandoned by her mother, but her mother physically cannot care for her. So Tori is forced to face the real world on her own at a young age, and because of that, she's very angry. And people see that she's struggling, and they like Crease. And, she's been sexually harassed by guys because, they see a teenager who's struggling on her own. For example, her landlord, he was like, hey, I know you can't pay your rent on time, but you have two options. I can either kick you out or we can have sex.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And mind you, she's still a minor. But he knows, she's not going to go to the cops because she's on probation and she needs a place to live. So he was like, either you have sex with me or you're going to lose your house, and you and your mom and your brother are going to be living on the streets.
And didn't Crease beat him up or something?
I think Crease cut off his finger, but then it's like she thinks she can trust Crease now, but in reality, Crease was just pretending to be like a father figure in her life because he just wants to use her to do his dirty work as like his goon. Silver uses money to hire goons to do his dirty work. Kreese uses manipulation. He does him favors, just like you said, like who you referred to as Adolf in our last episode we did together. The guy who took advantage of you, and he was like, hey, you can sleep at my house, you can use my shower when yours is broken, I'll make you food when you're sick. But then he took all your money and then vanished. It's the same thing with Kreese, and that's why I relate to Cobra Kai so much, because it's so, aside from the Karate Wars, it's so realistic as far as like, yeah, this is what happens in the real world. It's kind of similar to like how my parents didn't give a fuck about me, but then when they saw that I saw that, they would then do these little favors to convince me otherwise, but in reality, they were just using me as their emotional support dog. Or how you and your friend that you call Adolf, how he pretended to be your friend and then he took all your money.
And sometimes when you watch these shows, you know, you gotta kind of sit back and like realize patterns of people, you know. So, you know, when he told me like, you know, I'm gonna use you and all this type of stuff, like for money and everything, when he was drunk, I laugh it off. But you gotta take people, even if people are drunk, you gotta take this seriously sometimes.
You know what? Being drunk sometimes exposes people.
Right.
Because for starters, when people are drunk, usually whatever they say is really the truth and not a joke. Because when we're drunk, we don't think straight. Our truer selves come out, and a lot of times there are hints to what the person is really like that they're hiding from you when they're sober. Because I'm sure you didn't think about it all the time, but why would Adolf say something like that? Like, why would he say, oh, I'm going to use you for your money? He's too drunk to be making jokes right now.
Right, exactly.
So that right there should have been your sign that maybe he was up to something that he was hiding from you when he was sober. But you live and you learn, you know, you can't beat yourself up over that.
Right, and I was just so blinded, and I, you know... But I put the blame on him and everything, and tracking him back to lose my job. But at the end of the day, too, it's kind of my fault as well for not, like, you know, seeing the signs and, you know.
You know, we can blame other people for our problems as much as we want, and at some point, yes, it probably was somebody's actions that led you up to the point in your life that you are at today. But ultimately, life is a sum of the choices that we make, and yeah, it's for better or for worse. Something that a friend of mine told me when, you know, my parents were putting me through shit, because like, I literally had a plan. Since high school, I was earning a lot of money as a pet sitter, and I was being bothered by my parents so much that I was planning to use that money to move out the day I turned 18. I didn't tell them about that because I knew they would try to stop me. And as soon as I turned 18, I was gonna, you know, start looking for a house or something, and they just took all my money. They said that they needed me to do my part to stay at a hotel while we were on vacation. I didn't even ask to go on vacation or for the hotel that they chose.
How did they get your money again?
They just took it. Well, no, they didn't go. Like, they didn't go through my bag and take it, but they pretty much told me that like, if I didn't give them the money, that they were gonna kick me out and that I was gonna be living on the street for the rest of my life. And I don't know that they would have actually done that. It wouldn't surprise me if they did, because, you know, my dad did try to make me go homeless to teach me a lesson.
Right.
But, you know, me being innocent and young, I believe that they really would do that, and I got scared, and I was like, okay, fine, like, I'd rather have a roof over my head than be out in the street.
Right.
So I let them take it, and, you know, my friend said to me, he's like, your parents put you in a situation where it ultimately led to where your life is today. And he's like, it might not be your fault, but it is your problem. And he said to me, he's like, you are a grown man, and he's like, I know you're struggling a lot right now because you got a lot to process mentally. And he's like, but without your parents being in your life anymore, what you do from here on out is 100% on you.
Right.
And I still have issues I'm dealing with because of them. But like he said, like, it is my problem now, so what happens to me here on out is my fault.
Sometimes I felt forced when I didn't want to go out. I felt forced, and I don't know why I did, So, yeah, trust your gut,
Sometimes you have to be the bad guy, because I'll tell you one thing, this happened recently. A woman that I know, she was being sexually harassed by an older guy. He was saying things to her like he wanted to kiss her, and he wanted to take her home, and she has a boyfriend, and he was aware that he didn't care. But she never said anything to him because she wanted to be nice. And I said to her, I'm like, let me ask you this. When it's your first day of high school, who gets messed with the most? The nerd who's shy and timid, or the jock who's a bully to everybody? The bully doesn't get picked on, the nerd does.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you need to be a bully. What I'm saying is there's a time and a place where you have to be an asshole. Because being the nice guy will get your ass kicked by the assholes. Another thing I want to talk about, so I just want to mention this really quick. I was talking to a coworker of mine about Zara, Tori, and I pretty much said that Zara is much hotter than Tori is, and that Zara was my new favorite character. And he said to me, he's like, well, if you're going to like Zara just because of her looks, he's like, then you're just thirsty.
Right.
He's kind of right, but to be fair, I was joking about that. I still like Tori more than Zara, because even though Zara is the hotter chick, Tori has better qualities as a person. She has better qualities that I relate to. And I know that even though she comes across as a psychopath sometimes, she really is a good person who's going through a hard time.
Right.
While Zara is she's the exact kind of person. Yeah, she's the exact kind of person that I hate. There are so many girls at FSU who are just like her, where, they're super nice online and they put out this fake personality, but then they sit next to you in the elevator and they're a bitch towards you. They act like they're too good to talk to you, to show some decency towards other people.
The celebrity status, I think they have.
Exactly, and that's exactly how Zara is. And even though she's hot, and yes, she is hotter, she is better looking than Tori, I think mainly because she's got such I think she's more fake because she trains harder than Tori does. In real life too, I know for a fact that Reina definitely works out more than Peyton does, because, she's a world champion. You have to work out to get to that level. But I ultimately like Tori better than I like Zara for Tori's personality.
Character building,
Even though Tori was introduced to us as one of the villains in the beginning, I always liked her because I saw something in her that some of the characters didn't. I saw that she wasn't really evil. She was just broken.
Right.
I liked her better than I like Samantha. Now, I don't hate Samantha as much as some other people do, but I do think Samantha is a little privileged. I think that there are scenarios where Samantha is definitely at fault, but then she plays the victim card anyway. And, as Tori said in an episode, Sam just has to make these puppy eyes at Daddy, and she gets whatever she wants from her rich father. Same with Daniel. I think that Daniel's changed a lot since Karate Kid. If anything, Daniel's become a very unlikable character because of how cocky he is, and he's let that money get to his head. I mean, in the first season of Cobra Kai, Johnny wasn't looking for trouble. He really just wanted to rebuild Cobra Kai to pay his bills and to accomplish something in his life, because he's been a loser since he got out of high school.
Right.
And Daniel was like, I gotta put his business in the ground. And it's like, Daniel, what are you doing? Like, your own wife is telling you you're acting like a child.
Right. Any theories for season 7? How do you think it's gonna go down and lead to the movie?
It's so unpredictable. The trailer shows us Daniel LaRusso and Mr. Han, so it seems like they're going to be the only two. But I really do hope that, Johnny, Chosen, Miguel are going to be in it too, because they're some of our favorite characters from the show, At the very least, I'd be happy with just a cameo. But I'm still going to see this movie. I'm hoping that it's as good as it looks.
Yeah.
I also really hope that they don't bring in Jaden Smith because I just don't like Jaden Smith as an actor and also as a person. I haven't liked a single one of his movies, not even the Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith and Jaden Smith. When I don't know if you've seen that movie, but pretty much Will Smith plays. It's based on a true story.
Sounds familiar.
But it wasn't a good movie, in my opinion. It was very boring. And it just goes to show you that since the beginning, Jaden Smith was not meant for fame. And now he's being all woke and gay now. And he's just a fucking little brat.
Yeah, his dad really just helped him get famous.
That's the only reason why he's famous, because that kid's a fucking weirdo. And, just like Dre in the Karate Kid remake, Dre's a little bitch too. And, it's one of those things, kind of like how Raina Vallandigham fits the role for Zara so perfectly because they have the same personality. I think the same thing goes for Dre and Jaden Smith, is their personalities seem to be so in sync that I think that's why Jaden was so perfect for that role. But honestly, Dre is such a little bitch that I really don't want to see him make a comeback in Karate Kid Legends. Like I said, in that movie, I wanted him to get beat up so bad because he was just asking for it.
Right.
I kind of wonder if some of the characters, like maybe Silver, are going to have sort of a redemption. Like maybe Silver will realize once again how stupid this whole karate rivalry is, because now we have a death in the karate family.
Yeah. That's going to change up everything.
Oh yeah, it's definitely, the sweepstakes are very high. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see where Tori ends up, where Miguel and Robbie end up. Another thing was Dimitri Clazy, MIT. That shit was hilarious. But another thing too is it just me or did they flick off each other a lot in this season?
I think they're trying to be like fucking cool and putting that in the script. It's like, okay.
I'm sorry, but did your parents not allow you to flick people off? Which, come to think of it, yeah, they probably didn't. But y'all are using the middle finger excessively in this season.
Right.
I don't know. It's one of those shows where when you think about it, it's unrealistic how half these people aren't in jail. But at the end of the day, it's just a show. It's corny as fuck, but I don't know. It's the kind of corny that makes you laugh. It's very funny and entertaining.
Yeah.
And every character, even the most evil characters like Kreese and Silver, they ultimately have points. For example, when Silver says, a man can't stand, he can't fight. It's both literally and figuratively speaking.
Right.
Kreese as well has some good points as well, where he was like, listen, I trained Johnny since he was a kid, only for him to be beaten by Daniel LaRusso because Daniel had more hearts than he did. Kreese has a point there too. That's a fairy tale of, I won because I have more heart than he did. And Kreese said, well, how do you destroy an opponent that has more heart than you? You have to be heartless. So yeah, every character has a point. Every character has something. It just goes to show you that everyone in your life, good or bad, there's something that we can learn from everybody, no matter.
Leading to something bigger.
Exactly.
I believe in the multiverse, and our different variants, deal with different things. When we dream, our astral body goes into different universes, and everything I'm going through with getting fired and the ex-friend. It's like I could have. What if I didn't have a loving family or friends support me? What if I could have became a villain? You know what I mean? It could have became bad, or what if I hurt myself or something like that? You know what I mean? If I didn't have a supporting family and friends.
Well, on that note, I guess we'll wrap it up, and yeah, go check out Cobra Kai and the Karate Kid movies on Netflix. I don't recommend the remake, but it's kind of important to watch it now to understand Legends coming out in theaters May 30th. But yeah, this is the Tallanasty podcast coming to its final season, and we'll talk to you later.
Peace out.